Hey Google, turn on the lights.
Okay, turning on 2 lights.
Good morning. I haven't actually slept in tonight at all. It's 5:45 a.m. So we're gonna just get an early start on the day. I'm probably gonna go to sleep midway through today, so let's see what happens. So the goal to a good morning is to start with a good bit of coffee. And I could use this Keurig here, but it kind of sucks. So we're gonna go with the old-fashioned coffee maker. First things first, we gotta take the filter out and put some coffee in it. I'm gonna make about enough for a venti iced coffee. So that's about, maybe 2.5 scoops of coffee in there. Nothing much, nothing crazy. The cup that I will be using is this one. My brother got me this cup for Christmas once. It's a large Starbucks cup, reusable. Now we fill this cup up with water so that we get the perfect amount of water for the amount of coffee that we want. So now that we have our water, all we have to do is open up the top of this coffee pot, pour in the water. And now I am going to let that start brewing, and because I'm making an iced coffee, I'm going to let it brew, take a shower, and then come back and prepare the iced coffee. So yeah.
1 shower later.
Alright, so from now on, if you hear any music that's in the background, it's from my dad. We grabbed the cup, switch our machine to ice making, and fill it up with ice. We want it to be like almost completely full. That's pretty good. Then I'm gonna grab 6 of these little vanilla creamer packets. I'm gonna dump them in the cup and pour the coffee in, and we'll have some good coffee. Taste test. Yeah, it's good. Tastes like vanilla.
Got it, turning 2 lights on.
Right now it's about 6:55, and I'm gonna make this video about my ingrown toe and going across country. Going to a different country to fix this toenail. What could possibly be wrong with your toenail? Huh? Time for a story time. I, myself, Jessen, I was in a mariachi class, and as part of it, I wore these very small on my feet boots that they come up to a point. And so they were really bad for my toes. My feet always hurt when I wore them, and I only wore them for like a year. So every time I put them on, they just hurt a lot. And so lo and behold, by the end of not the end of junior year, but somewhere in the middle of junior year, I get an ingrown toenail on my right big toe. So I went to the podiatrist, and I asked him,
Hey, fix my toe, bro.
and he did for a little bit. He cut off some of the jagged edges. He showed me what was exactly digging in. He showed a very sharp piece of nail that was digging right into my toe. And I left feeling great. And then I realized I had the ingrown toenail on my other foot as well. So I came back and I was like,
Hey, I think it's the same pair of shoes. Can you fix this one as well?
and he did something different. He cut off the edge of the toenail vertically, right? So that it wouldn't cut into my toe anymore. But then he put in a chemical to kill the root so it would never grow back. Period. End of story. My left big toe was beautiful. Never had any problems since then. Then turns out my right big toe, all of a sudden the same thing happened. It got ingrown again. I got it got a little inflamed and whatnot. So I went back. I was like,
Hey, this is coming back again.
and I showed him my shoes. I was like,
Yo, these are my shoes I'm wearing.
he's like, yeah, these are fine. As long as you don't wear the other ones.
I'm like, yeah, I don't wear those anymore.
And so he didn't cut anything. he gave me this little like rubber spacer. It's like a little rubber pillow basically that you put between your toes so that you don't jam your toes into each other, because that's what he thought it looked like, is that maybe my toe being pushed against my other toe was like creating a little indent and causing a little bit to puff out and be inflamed. That wasn't the solution, so he came back another time. I got really mad at this guy. It felt like he just like wasn't doing his job.
This is the third time I've been here for this toe. Could you please fix it? Could you like do the permanence thing where you put the chemical in to kill the root?
Well, we can't do that because it might cause a infection burn. It'll burn the infection.
Or something. I didn't really know what that meant. It seems like a good thing to burn the infection, but I don't really know what that means, so who am I to really like say, yeah, burn the infection? I don't know. So what he does is he cuts my toe down vertically. He sort of opens up my toe to see where it's all inflamed, and turns out I just had a bunch of like blood vessels and stuff that were all like gunked in there. And so he scooped them all out, and I had this like pocket that was inside my toe, and he was like,
Oh, it looks great. There's like no infection here at all. You should be completely fine.
and that felt very reassuring. I went home, I had like a bandage around my toe, and I kept putting triple antibiotic on there until it healed. And for a while, my toe felt decent. And then about like 3 months after that visit, it came back, and I just lived with it because it wasn't as bad. It was like the lightest version I'd ever had of it. But then like a week ago, I was at work, I was running around doing a bunch of stuff, and it just really started hurting a lot. And so here I am today, not going back to that podiatrist because frankly, I don't like the way he treats my toe. Nothing against him, I'm sure he's a very talented podiatrist, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Second opinions can't hurt, and especially when they're Mexican. Usually Mexicans do a pretty good job. I just woke up for the first time. It's 3 p.m. and I went to bed about 10 a.m., maybe 11. We got about 2-ish hours before we have to leave for the podiatrist. It's not a podiatrist in Mexico. It's like a pedicure place, but they also have like a little doctor's office in there. They called it doctors, so you know. So it's kind of like weird because I didn't talk to you while I was in Mexico, but I had a very good experience. I went to the place. My dad did all the talking because he speaks Spanish and I don't. He was like,
Yo, I got an appointment for 6:20
we got there at like 6.
for my son's ingrown toenail.
2 minutes later, they're like,
Alright, come on. Go into, like, the little room 4.
within like a minute, this lady comes up, she's like,
Hey, so you got an ingrown toenail?
I take off my shoe and stuff, and I'm like, yep, there it is. And so she just immediately goes in, she like cleans it up a little bit, numbs it. She starts working on it, she takes off the thing, she's like,
Does that hurt?
no. Then she's like,
Alright, I'm gonna start cutting your nail. Okay, tell me if it hurts.
cut, boom, 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 boom. She cuts out the sliver, and if your nail is this long, right, your toenail is this long, the part that was like jutting out and stabbing me was about half that length. So imagine, look at your toenail, right? Imagine half that length diverting off to the side and just stabbing in. That's how long my nail was. I didn't take a picture, but it was pretty big. So she just cleans it up with some antiseptic and then sends me on my merry way, and we got tacos and left. Right now I'm boiling up some water to set my toe in some salt water, some warm salt water for 15 minutes. But yeah, all in all, great experience. Way faster and way cheaper than going to the podiatrist specialist here in San Diego. In San Diego, you pay $40 just for your time with the specialist. In Mexico, you just pay $25. Bam, and then you're gone. Thanks for watching. Leave a big Lego like if you did, and subscribe if you want. See ya.